It is 3:14 a.m. in a glass tower in Hudson Yards. You are highlighting every mention of force majeure in a 400-page lease agreement, while your Uber Eats sits cold by the elevator. At level 8, you do not argue about what the law says. You sit in a windowless room in DC and decide what the law will say next year. You sit in a modular workstation at a V10 firm in Midtown Manhattan. The dual monitors glow with 4,000 unread emails. You review the data room for a $2.4 billion acquisition. Looking for a single missing signature in a sea of PDFs, you wonder if anyone actually reads these. Your starting salary is $235,000. You have not seen sunlight on a weekday in 4 months. You drink a lukewarm espresso from a $6,000 machine in the pantry. The 2026 Cravath scale pays a first-year bonus of $15,000, provided you hit the 2,000-hour billable threshold. That requires roughly 38.5 billable hours every single week of the year, including holidays. You tell yourself that the prestige of the firm's letterhead is a fair trade for the fact that your mother stopped calling after the 3rd time you cancelled Sunday dinner. You click the relevant tag on a document. You move to the next. You adjust your blue light glasses. The work shifts from finding errors to preventing them. You draft the initial purchase agreement for a private equity carve-out in Chicago. You manage 3 juniors who look exactly like you did 2 years ago. Nearly 25% of your mid-level cohort leaves for in-house roles before their 5th year. You stay. Your salary climbs to $310,000. The financial constraints disappear as your student loans drop to 0. You spend your nights on Zoom calls with local counsel in Luxembourg and Singapore. You buy a Peloton. You use it as a coat rack. You tell yourself that you are finally learning how the world actually works, even if you only see it through a 14-inch laptop screen. You check the red lines on a credit facility agreement. You scroll to the next page. You are now the primary point of contact for the general counsel of a Fortune 500 company. When a crisis breaks at 10 p.m. on a Friday, your phone is the one that vibrates. You are no longer just a lawyer. You are a filter. You decide which risks are worth mentioning to the partner and which ones are just noise. Your salary is $435,000. Under the firm's up or out policy, Year 7 means you are either being groomed for partnership or subtly steered toward the exit. Your realization rate, the percentage of your hours actually paid for by clients, is now tracked on a monthly dashboard. Your apartment has a view of the park you never visit. You tell yourself that you are only 3 years away from the finish line, ignoring the fact that the track keeps getting longer. You stare at a 12-point font memo until the letters blur into gray lines. You have the expertise of a partner without the burden of business development. You are the lawyer's lawyer in the ERISA department. You solve problems that other people do not even know exist. You earn a flat $550,000. You hold no equity. The counsel title functions as a holding pen for high-value technicians who lack the $3 million annual book of business required for equity partnership. You tell yourself that you have chosen stability over the stress of the hunt, even as you watch younger partners get invited to the inner sanctum. Is the safety net just something woven into the floor? You do not go to the holiday parties anymore. You sign your name at the bottom of a 40-page restructuring opinion. You close the manila folder. You sign a capital contribution agreement. You borrow $400,000 from a firm-approved bank to buy your share of the partnership. The average buy-in for a top-tier New York firm ranges from $300,000 to over $1 million, financed through specialized loans that the firm's profits are expected to cover. You are no longer an employee. You are a business owner. Your income is now a draw against future profits. You spend 40% of your time in airport lounges, pitching for new business in Dallas and San Francisco. You tell yourself that the debt is just an investment in a future where you never have to ask for permission again. You receive your first K-1 tax form. You check your origination credit on a new $50 million litigation matter. You manage a practice group. You do not write briefs. You do not review documents. You manage the relationship with the CEO. You sit on the executive committee. Your draw is $4.5 million. You close offices. You de-equity partners. At elite firms like Kirkland, the compensation spread from highest to lowest paid partner reaches 10 to 1. You control the points dictating that income. You speak in short sentences. You delete the draft of a personal email. You look at the quarterly profit per partner report. You nod. Morning arrives. You assume the role of managing partner. You direct firm strategy across 20 countries. You do not practice law. You are a politician. You negotiate firm mergers. You manage malpractice threats in the billions. You enter the Treasury building. You meet the Treasury Secretary. You approve a PAC budget of $20 million. 10 United States law firms generate over $2 billion in revenue each. You leave the building. You sit in a car service. The vehicle moves through District of Columbia traffic. The wipers clear the glass. You turn off your phone. You watch the rain on the window. You leave the firm. You hold no title. You sit in a library in a club in Washington. You wrote the loophole into the 2026 Tax Reform Act before introduction in the House. You do not charge by the hour. You charge by the result. The law is a set of instructions. You wrote them. Others follow them. 60% of lobbyists in the finance sector share an origin. They arrive from government office. They arrive from law firm partnerships. You drink water. You wait for the senator. You stand up. The firm lobby is marble. Silence. A man walks through the doors. He clutches a briefcase. He looks at his reflection in the metal. 60 floors up, you walk past the window. You do not look down. You do not see him. Does the structure elevate the individuals inside? Does it crush everyone below? The elevator dings. The machine does not require your belief to continue its work.